Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is actually a bit longer than I thought initially it would be, but that's just because I filmed my face routine first and then I went filming the rest of this video. So if you want to see how I created this eye makeup look, you can skip this whole process and just watch that. This is actually what is called reversed cat eye. And for me, this lower part is actually, as if you watch my videos, you know, for me, this is nothing new. I really do like this lower part of the eye to be emphasized and to create this cat eye look. So that's one thing that I'm used to doing, and I'm doing that with my eyes all the time, and I really like that technique. But what it is different is that all of this area right here is so light. It feels different. I feel different with this type of makeup. So without any further ado, let's just jump into this tutorial so you can watch the whole process. Before we start with actual makeup, today's contact lenses that I'm wearing are from brand TTDI, and these color contact lenses are in Polar Light Blue. This product is Defense Hydra Jelly from Bionica. This is moisturizing water gel. Whenever I film, I know I'm gonna be wearing lots of different types of makeup products, so I really do like to prepare my skin to give it as much hydration as I can. Next product is something that I'm wearing on daily basis, and this is from Vaseline. It's called Lip Therapy. I have this product literally all the times with me, hydrated longer than any other product that I've tried so far. Bionica Defense Color Primer. It's perfect for sensitive skin as well. It has unique texture. It is really smooth and silky, and it's really liquidy. I've spread this all over my face and neck area. For my shoulder and chest area, I used Pixi Body Treats Rose Body Balm. And just to make sure that I don't have any excess of this product, I went with a beauty blender. Even though I put this product with my fingers, I use my beauty blender to remove any extra products that I might have on my skin. Last step before makeup, this is Benefit Porefessional Primer, and I use this primer mainly on my T-zone. For my first step, I'm gonna be using from Kryolan Dermacolour Cream. This one is in the shade DM1/2, and because this is camouflage makeup, I'm using tiny bit of a product. Usually for dark spots, I would use correctors. In this case, I would use correctors underneath my eye and around my nose and some orangey shades because it would neutralize that color. But this time, I wanted to give it a try, this product, to see how it's gonna react when it comes to these areas. Also, make sure whenever you're color correcting, you're using that color just on the spots where you need color correct, not around your skin that looks normally. For my foundation today, I'm gonna be using L'Oreal 24 Fresh Wear in shade 140. To apply my foundation, generally I would take a flat brush and then press the product with a beauty blender. But recently I absolutely love this brush. This one is from Real Techniques by Sam and Nick, and this one is sculpting brush. I also like this more than duo fiber brush because it really pushes product in your skin instead just spreading the product. And also I'm using this brush for sculpting, of course, which I will show you later. Now, once I'm done with spreading the product and pressing the product with this brush, I'm going in with the beauty blender, and this is a really important step. Once I go a few times with my beauty blender on top of my face, I would take clean towel paper and just press the beauty blender and go again, repeat the process. That way, all the extra product won't stay on top of your face unnecessary. To add some highlight, I'm using Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser. This one is in shade 06 Neutralizer. Not only this product looks great on the skin, it is super blendable, but also it is a drugstore product, which makes it even better. To sculpt my face, I'm using Makeup Factory Duo Contouring Cream in shade 24. This is actually duo, so I'm using obviously the darkest shade from this palette. This contour is super blendable. It's easy to work with when it comes to contouring. That is really important. If you do have a product that is hard to work with, not super blendable, then your contour may look, it won't look good. You will have a hard time to make that contour looking flawless, especially when you are working with darker colors. And to blend everything together, I am using Real Techniques sculpting brush again. On the left side of my face, I went a little bit higher with the contour, but since my face has a bit narrow shape, when it comes to contour, I really do like to not make too sharp lines, but rather make a bit curvy lines, if that makes sense. So because of that, I will take my contour a little bit lower, just so I can give a little bit of fullness to my face. If you're having more, for example, round face, it will be good to go a little bit higher with your contours, and that will complement your face shape. I also paid attention to my nose, to my hairline, and to my jawline as well. Again, I added second round of Kryolan's Camouflage Dermacolour product, which also gave me a little bit more coverage and highlight as well. I also focused on the center of my face, so I can give a highlight to my forehead and to my nose. For my blush today, I'm not only using powder products, I'm gonna be using cream product as well. This one is from Pixi in collaboration with Louise Rowe. So today I'm going in the shade Romance, which is a second shade from Second Row. But before I put blush on my skin, I'm making sure that all of the excess of the product doesn't stay on my brush, but that I work only with a little bit of a product. Otherwise, a little bit goes a long way, and if you're not careful with how much amount of the product you're using when it comes to blush, it can ruin your contour. When it comes to setting my face, first thing that I think of is under eye area, because that is the area that creases the most. And today I'm using Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder in shade 1 Fair. This is the best product so far that I have tried for my under eye area. Now, something that I've discovered recently is Chanel's Healthy Glow Sheer Powder in number 50. I use this for setting my contour. This product is so great. Oh my god, I can't even explain it. It is super fine. It doesn't change the color when you put it on top of the contour. It is easy to work with. I like the tone of this shade, and I really do like the overall effect of this product. I'm so happy to have a product that won't change the color once you put it on top of another dark color. To finish off face routine, I'm using another Kryolan's product. This one is from Dermacolour line Fixing Powder in shade P1. It's not too heavy, and if you put it right amount, little by little, it will give you fine finish. At the end, when I finished today's look, I finished off with Urban Decay setting spray to lock in place everything that is on my face. And now let's move on to the actual eye makeup look. Like I said, I haven't done face routine first in a while. Usually I do my eyes first. So to have all this translucent powder underneath my eyes feels really weird. Anyways, I'm starting off with my favorite mixture, and that is P. Louise base number 0 and 3 mixed together. Using flat brush to pack that product and to clean the bottom of my eyebrow as well. It is cool because this way you can shape your eyebrow and make it clean like this. For my eyeshadow, I'm using from Pixi in collaboration with Tina Young these 3 shades, and when I put them on my brow bone, it seems like it's a translucent color. It's just because mix of these 3 colors gave me perfect base to set my eyes. Next, going in my crease with this shade from Natasha Denona Glam Palette. If you're doing client's makeup, this shade will be perfect as a matte transition shade. You can get so much from this shade no matter of their skin tone. Now, maybe when you see the final look, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on the actual lid, just because colors that I've used blended so well. But now behind the scenes, you see how much products actually we are gonna use to get, even though they are neutral shades, but we are playing with different textures. And again, I took my time to blend each color individually. At this point, we are looking at eyeshadow from Pat McGrath Quad Voyeuristic Vixen eyeshadow palette. I'm using shade Twilight Bronze. This is really nice bronzy shade. This shade you can wear on daily basis. It's not too sparkly, but I added Duraline just because I wanted to achieve stronger finish and higher opacity of this product. But now let's focus on the most important part of this eye look. It is actually what it makes this technique called reversed cat eye, and that is this lower part of the eye emphasized. I am using Inglots MC gel eyeliner in 77, starting with my waterline. I am following shape of my eye, but once I got to the end of my eye, I wanted that line to go high as much as it can so that it gives me that cat eye look. At the same time, I'm blending everything that I put on my eyes just so I can avoid any harsh lines. Plus, I was constantly checking the symmetry between the eyes because to get the same effect, sometimes you're gonna have to do some stuff differently on one eye than on the other, meaning your line has to be maybe thicker. And when I went to connect this lower part of the eye, I focused on the outer portion, just the last third of my lid, to put this product on and to make like a little winged eyeliner. So whenever I would look straight, whenever the end of the eye is or your lid is dropping down, when you fill that with black color, it will give a effect of straight line, if that makes sense. To make this black color more subtle, I am using black matte eyeshadow to make edges more blendable and softer. For this, I'm using really small bullet brushes, and for any blending, I would use clean brush just on the edges because at the end of the day, this is black eyeshadow, and just one wrong move can just break this look. To make a transition from the black color to my skin, I'm using this shade from Natasha Denona Glam Palette. This is matte dark brown shade. Very important, cleaning your brush. Make sure you don't have too much of the product, that you're working with minimal amount of product at this point. I also elongated my inner corner. To curl my eyelashes, I'm using MAC curler. Then I carefully wiped off any product that I had underneath my eyes. Put a little bit of Glam & Dull mascara. This one is from Catrice. Right here you can see the difference between just my eyelashes and fake eyelashes. You can see the effect that eyelashes give to this look. But when it comes to this particular look, I didn't just put eyelash as I usually do, but instead I cut off just like last part of the eyelash, put that on the end of my eye, and then with the rest of the eyelash again on the end of the eye, and whatever that eyelash reaches toward the inner corner of my eye. So one part of the eye will be without eyelash, the inner part. I would say the first, maybe third part of the eye. The reason for that is that we will get this elongated eyelash look that is perfect for today's look. At the end, I put some highlight color from Natasha Denona Glam Palette. This is shade Inner Corner, third shade from the first row. I really enjoy this look and the whole process, and I really like how it emphasizes the eyes. So we got to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!